Millions of years ago, imagine a time before even the dinosaurs had appeared on this planet and begun to live. Imagine a moment when even the atmosphere had a different smell, when the continental plates were only just beginning to drift apart from one another, and the ancestors of the first crocodiles as large as a calf stood silently and alone at the corner of a river, waiting. From that day to this one, everything began to change. Dinosaurs arrived, ruled, and disappeared. Ice ages froze and melted. Humans appeared, civilizations were built and collapsed. Yet crocodiles continued to survive, still waiting silently and alone at the corners of rivers. Today I will talk to you about the biology, anatomy, and lives of crocodiles. If you're ready, let's begin. First of all, let's take a look at the question, what kind of creatures are crocodiles? When we say crocodile, we are not actually talking about a single animal, but rather crocodilia. In other words, we are talking about three different crocodilian families: true crocodiles, Crocodilidae; alligators, Alligatoridae; and gharials, Gavialidae. These are the crocodilian species that usually come to mind when people think of crocodiles, but there are important differences between them. In true crocodiles, the lower jaw teeth remain visible even when the mouth is closed. In alligators, however, the upper jaw covers the lower jaw. Because of this, an alligator can appear as if it has a smile on its face. Gharials, on the other hand, are crocodilians with extremely long and thin snouts, giving them a truly unusual silhouette. Gharials mainly hunt fish and live in certain rivers of India and Nepal. There are a total of 27 crocodilian species in the world, and crocodilians live across Africa, South America, Asia, and Australia. Even when we look at their size, we see incredible diversity. The smallest species, Cuvier's dwarf caiman, averages only about 1.5 meters in length. Among the giants are the Nile crocodile and the saltwater crocodile, both of which can exceed 6 meters in length and weigh over 1,000 kilograms. There is also another fascinating fact. The saltwater crocodile, Crocodilus porosus, is currently the largest living reptile on Earth and also one of the largest land predators alive today. The body structure of these giant reptiles is a masterpiece shaped by millions of years. At first glance, they may seem like dark and bulky animals, but this impression is misleading. A crocodile's skin is thick and covered with bony plates called osteoderms. These plates protect the crocodile like armor, almost like a tank, but their purpose is not only protection. By absorbing sunlight and helping regulate heat within the bloodstream, these bony structures act almost like natural thermostats. Isn't that incredible? Their skin is both as tough as armor and capable of regulating body temperature. The eyes, ears, and nostrils of crocodiles are all located on the very top of their heads. This is no coincidence, it is an evolutionary masterpiece. A crocodile can keep its entire body underwater while leaving only these three senses above the surface. A crocodile that appears to be lying still is actually monitoring everything around it. Their eyes have a very unusual structure. Their vision in low light is extremely good thanks to a reflective layer called the tapetum lucidum. This is also why their eyes glow with a reddish-orange color in darkness. During the daytime, their pupils narrow vertically, helping them focus only on the most important visual information. There is another fascinating feature as well. Crocodiles have eyelids that move up and down just like human eyelids, but beneath them lies a transparent third eyelid called the nictitating membrane. When a crocodile dives underwater, this transparent layer slides across the eye, protecting it while also allowing the crocodile to see more clearly underwater. In a way, their eyes work like built-in swimming goggles. Their ears may appear invisible to most of us, but crocodiles actually have ears located directly behind their eyes on the top of their heads. When diving underwater, the ear openings close, but above the surface they can detect sounds with remarkable sensitivity. The tiny cries of baby crocodiles trying to hatch from their eggs are vital signals that cause the mother crocodile to open the nest and rescue her young. One of the most fascinating aspects of crocodile anatomy is the heart. Unlike most reptiles, crocodiles possess a four-chambered heart, similar to birds and mammals. From an evolutionary perspective, this carries deep significance. However, crocodile hearts also contain unique features not found in mammals. One of them is the foramen of Panizza, a small opening between two major arteries. When a crocodile dives underwater or hunts, this opening helps regulate blood flow and even aids digestion. Isn't that remarkable? If a crocodile remains underwater for a long time, its heart ensures oxygen continues reaching the muscles. Simply put, this means that even while holding its breath underwater, its tissues do not begin to decay from lack of oxygen. Their stomachs are equally astonishing. Crocodiles possess some of the most acidic stomachs in the animal kingdom. Their digestive systems are powerful enough to dissolve hard materials such as bones and horns. Additionally, crocodiles often contain stones called gastroliths in their stomachs. These stones are believed to help grind and digest food, similar to the gizzards of birds. Their lungs are also unique. How long can crocodiles stay underwater? While actively hunting, they can remain submerged for 15 to 20 minutes. When resting, they may stay underwater for up to 2 hours. Because they are ectothermic animals, their metabolism slows down, reducing oxygen consumption. Although they do not truly hibernate, cold weather greatly slows their metabolism. They can survive on almost minimal energy. Isn't that incredible? There are also fascinating scientific studies regarding crocodile blood. Researchers discovered that crocodile serum contains antimicrobial peptides that may even work against antibiotic-resistant bacteria in humans. Crocodiles survive in filthy, foul-smelling rivers despite having open wounds. Thanks to their extraordinary immune systems, they endure extremely harsh environments. Scientists hope that studying these peptides may help develop new antibiotics in the future. Crocodiles are ectothermic animals, meaning they do not produce body heat internally through metabolism, but instead rely on external heat sources. In everyday language, we call this cold-blooded. However, this term is misleading because their blood is not literally cold. Their body temperature simply changes according to the surrounding environment. This adaptation is vital for survival because it allows crocodiles to use extremely little energy. Large mammals like lions or tigers must successfully hunt several times a week, or they risk starvation. Crocodiles, however, can survive for months without eating. Hunger almost becomes an option for them. But this advantage comes with a cost. In cold weather, their metabolism slows dramatically and movement becomes difficult. This is why crocodiles cannot survive in cold climates. Their muscles do not function properly in low temperatures, preventing them from hunting or escaping danger. Crocodiles also spend long periods resting. During the day, they bask in sunlight near the water to raise their body temperature to optimal hunting levels. Then, in the evening, they wait inside the water and begin hunting. This rhythm is an evolutionary strategy that allows them to use energy with maximum efficiency. When it comes to hunting, we begin to realize how insufficient words like vicious or merciless truly are. In reality, crocodiles are intelligent, patient, and highly strategic animals. Their primary hunting strategy is ambush predation. Crocodiles can remain motionless for hours, sometimes even days. They wait underwater with only their eyes and nostrils exposed, resembling nothing more than a floating log or rock. Animals approach the river to drink water without realizing danger is only meters away. Then suddenly, the attack comes. A crocodile lunging from the water can reach speeds of 40 to 50 kilometers per hour over short distances. For such a massive animal, this acceleration is extraordinary. The prey is often caught before it even understands what happened. Once the crocodile drags its prey into the water, the death roll begins. The crocodile clamps onto the prey and rapidly spins around its own axis. This technique both drowns the prey and tears it apart. Crocodile teeth are designed not for cutting, but for gripping, so the death roll is the most effective way to rip flesh into swallowable pieces. What do crocodiles eat? Almost anything. Fish are among their most common prey because they are highly vulnerable. Birds are also frequently hunted when they approach the water's edge to drink. Even though birds can fly, the crocodile's stealth makes escape difficult. Turtles, because of their slowness, are also easy prey. Antelopes are commonly attacked while drinking water near rivers. Sometimes even predators like lions and tigers can fall victim to crocodiles while approaching water sources. Their hunting techniques are truly exceptional. What is even more surprising is that crocodiles can sometimes hunt cooperatively. Although they may not display perfect coordination, researchers have observed them silently avoiding interference with one another while sharing large prey. Some studies even suggest that crocodiles occasionally work together in small groups to herd and catch fish. Crocodiles are often thought of as primitive creatures driven only by instinct, but this is a major misunderstanding. Scientific studies suggest crocodiles possess far greater cognitive abilities than previously believed. Their ability to use tools is especially astonishing. Studies in India and the United States suggest that some crocodiles, especially mugger crocodiles, place small sticks on their snouts during bird nesting season. Birds approach to collect the sticks for nest-building material, and the crocodile attacks. This means crocodiles intentionally use objects to lure prey, a behavior extremely rare in the animal kingdom. Crocodiles also learn surprisingly quickly and possess strong memories. Researchers believe they memorize the movement patterns of animals, humans, and watering locations. Evidence suggests crocodiles repeatedly return to successful ambush points over many years. Their play-like behaviors are equally fascinating. Some studies suggest that both juvenile and adult crocodiles engage in behaviors resembling play-pushing floating objects, gently interacting physically with other crocodiles, and repeatedly responding to sound-producing objects. Play behavior often indicates advanced brain development. If you think these giant reptiles are emotionless creatures, their reproductive and parental behaviors may completely change your perspective. During mating season, male crocodiles engage in intense battles. They roar across the water, stretch their bodies, and perform elaborate display behaviors. Victorious males may mate with several females, though these relationships are purely seasonal and not long-term pair bonds. Female crocodiles bury their eggs in carefully hidden nests among vegetation and soil. Nile crocodiles usually bury eggs in sandy riverbanks, while alligators build compost-like mounds of vegetation. As the plants decay, heat is produced, incubating the eggs. These reptiles possess another remarkable feature. The sex of hatchlings is not genetically determined, but instead depends on incubation temperature. Above certain temperatures, males hatch; below them, females hatch. This system, known as temperature-dependent sex determination, TSD, poses a major risk under climate change. Rising temperatures could severely disrupt crocodile population sex ratios. When the eggs are ready to hatch, the baby crocodiles begin calling from inside the eggs. The mother hears them and sometimes returns from hundreds of meters away. She carefully digs open the nest and gently cracks the eggs with her mouth. One of the animals with the strongest bite force on Earth delicately carries its babies without harming them and transports them safely to the water. The mother remains with her young for weeks, sometimes even months. She protects them from predators and may carry them inside her mouth to safety during danger. Such parental care is extremely rare among reptiles and makes crocodiles truly unique. If you think crocodiles are silent creatures, you are mistaken. They possess one of the strangest communication systems in the animal kingdom. Baby crocodiles emit high-pitched umph sounds while trying to hatch. Mothers and even nearby adults respond to these calls. After hatching, young crocodiles continue producing various sounds: squeaks during danger, soft noises during feeding, and gentler vibrations during play. Adult crocodiles communicate through both sound and vibration. During mating season, large males create low-frequency infrasound vibrations across the water's surface. These vibrations create strange ripple explosions visible on the water. It almost appears as if crocodiles are performing a water dance. This display allows males to announce their presence and size to others. Researchers studying crocodile vocalizations discovered that different sounds correspond to different emotional states and behaviors. This is not simple reflex behavior, it is a sophisticated communication system. Crocodiles are considered keystone species within their ecosystems. This means that if they disappear, the entire ecosystem begins to collapse. They help control vegetation such as reeds and water lilies. Their movement through wetlands maintains water channels. By dragging large prey into rivers, they recycle nutrients back into the ecosystem. By preying on weak or sick animals, they help keep prey populations healthier. The holes crocodiles dig during dry seasons become crucial water sources for countless other animals. Pools dug by Nile crocodiles provide habitats for fish, frogs, birds, and many other species. When crocodiles disappear, ecological balance begins to deteriorate. A real example occurred in the United States during the mid-20th century when overhunting drastically reduced alligator populations in Florida wetlands. As alligator numbers fell, small prey populations exploded, certain fish populations collapsed, and aquatic vegetation grew uncontrollably. Once alligators were protected and their populations recovered, the ecosystem gradually stabilized again. This living example clearly demonstrated how essential these reptiles are. Crocodiles may have survived for 200 million years, but the damage humans caused in the last 200 years has become one of their greatest threats. During the mid-20th century, crocodile leather became extremely valuable for making handbags, shoes, belts, and wallets. Between the 1950s and 1970s alone, millions of crocodiles were hunted. Some species nearly vanished completely. Another major threat followed: habitat destruction. Wetlands were drained for agriculture and urban development, rapidly shrinking crocodile habitats in the Nile Basin, the Amazon, and Florida wetlands. The good news is that crocodile conservation efforts have become some of the greatest success stories in wildlife protection. The American alligator was once close to extinction in the 1970s, but today there are more than 5 million individuals. In Florida, alligators now live alongside humans, appearing in golf courses, parks, and even residential neighborhoods. However, not all species have been so fortunate. The Philippine crocodile, Siamese crocodile, and Orinoco crocodile remain critically endangered, with some populations numbering only a few hundred individuals. Climate change also adds new pressure by disrupting temperature-dependent sex ratios. The relationship between humans and crocodiles is one of humanity's oldest and most complex animal relationships. Ancient Egyptians worshipped the crocodile god Sobek, believing he represented the fertility and power of the Nile. In many African cultures, crocodiles are seen as creatures deserving both respect and fear. Although crocodile attacks are dangerous, they are not as widespread as media often portrays. Roughly 1,000 crocodile attacks are recorded each year, most of them in Africa and largely involving Nile crocodiles. Compared to drowning or snake bites, this number is relatively low, though these attacks leave deep psychological impacts on local communities. In recent years, crocodile tourism has become economically valuable in many countries. Crocodile watching tours in Kenya, Zimbabwe, Australia, and Louisiana demonstrate to local communities that living crocodiles are more valuable alive than hunted. Economic incentives have become one of the strongest tools in crocodile conservation. Trying to describe crocodiles is far more difficult than it seems. I hope you now understand that crocodiles are not merely dangerous reptiles. They are the living embodiment of millions of years of biological intelligence. Every organ they possess has a purpose, and every movement carries evolutionary logic behind it. A cold-blooded yet warm-hearted mother, a destructive yet gentle hunter, a primitive-looking yet highly intelligent reptile. And perhaps most importantly, as long as crocodiles survive, and as long as we continue to understand them, our ecosystems will remain healthy as well. Because crocodiles are not ordinary reptiles. They are invisible guardians that have helped hold water, land, and life together for millions of years. The next time you see a crocodile in a documentary or beside a river, do not simply see a dangerous reptile. Recognize that you are looking at a highly intelligent and incredibly powerful creature that has survived for 200 million years. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel, turn on notifications, and leave a like for more videos like this. Goodbye.